Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. You really are seeing this, a GTA 5 video years after the game first released, back in 2013. How old do you feel right now? That open world Rockstar gave us presented so many opportunities to discover hidden lore on a huge detailed island packed with so many secrets. Almost 7 years later, fans are still scratching their heads, wondering whether or not we'll ever have answers. So I put this to you. Can you crack these unsolved mysteries in GTA 5 and GTA Online? Let's see how deep these rabbit holes go. Let's start things off with one of the most detailed, drawn-out mysteries in GTA 5. A blood-soaked breadcrumb trail that seems to lead to one man, the so-called Infinity Killer. First things first, we need to find out exactly who was behind these gruesome acts and how much damage he was able to do. Get your butt over to Sandy Shores and you can find a rundown house with a newspaper clipping attached to the wall. It says that a man named Merle Abrahams, the suspected Infinity Killer, died in prison while awaiting trial for abduction and torture. He is believed to have had 8 victims who were all single young men that were eliminated whilst jogging. While the police acknowledged his weird obsession with the number 8, they say that no bodies were ever found. But I'm not happy with that. I feel we can do better than the Los Santos Police Department. You with me? Not too far away from the site of the newspaper clipping, you can find another rundown shack. Some people think it was Abraham's house, whereas others think this is his kill house. Man, that sounds eerie. All I know is that it gives us an even deeper look into Merle's obsession with the number 8 and his origins as the Infinity Killer. Written here on the wall is "There will be 8." A reference to the total number of victims he plans on tallying up. You can also see a small illustration above the message. No, I don't think it's a mountain. It looks more important, so remember that for now. In the next room, we can find the message, "8 is just infinity stood up," which is probably where that name, the Infinity Killer, actually came from. Oh, and there's also a pair of jogging shoes hanging from the ceiling. Nice touch, I guess. Anyway, heading over to Sonora National Park, not far from Merle's home, we find another set of clues. Between a smattering of number 8s strewn across the rocks, you can find the Infinity Killer's attempt at a bit of light poetry. 1 is done, 2 is for fun, 3 tried to run, 4 called mom, 5's not alive, 6 is nix, what the hell does that mean? 7 is in heaven, 8 won't wait. Touching stuff. It's enough to confirm the number of Merle's victims, but we don't get the actual clue until we find this message left nearby. They want me, they have me, but they'll never get my people, even though I shall leave them sign enough where they put me. The key message here is actually in that final line, "where they put me." As we already know by now, Abrahams was eventually arrested and died before he could face trial. So what would we find if we went to search his presumed final resting place? Bolingbroke Penitentiary. Surprise, surprise, we get yet another message from the Infinity Killer. "Where water meets land and fire once spewed forth, there the Infinity 8 shall stay until I return." This is getting deep now. The more interesting part of the message is his little drawing right next to it. Remember the one I told you about earlier? Well, this is actually a slightly more detailed version of the same subject matter. And now it's clear to see that no, it's still not a mountain, it's actually a map. He even gave us a little handy compass pointing north. Cheers, Merle. You're a good one. Head up to that area in the ocean to the north of Los Santos and you'll find what all of this has been leading up to. The bodies. Hidden underwater amongst small rocks, you can find them wrapped up and laid to rest at the bottom of the ocean. Whilst we have found what the police were unable to, it doesn't exactly leave this mystery solved. There are still many loose ends to tie up, and there have been lots of speculation online surrounding the killer. Some people believe that he made himself the 8th victim, which would make sense given his message earlier, 8 won't wait, referring to the fact that he wouldn't wait to face trial. That ties in pretty well. Others believe that Merle may still be alive and well, ready to reveal himself once again, as hinted by one of his previous messages, which ended with the ominous line, "until I return." But what do you think about the Infinity Killer case? Was Merle the 8th victim, or does he still walk the streets of Los Santos? Let me know what you think about this, and if you find any more clues, get them in the comments below, please. Right, after our exhaustive journey into the mind of a serial killer, how about something a little less intense? Off the east coast of Los Santos, something strange lies underwater. It's deep enough that I would recommend using a submarine to get here, but dive down and you'll see a small hatch on the ocean floor with a small rectangular window. A word of warning though, GTA 5's oceans have a kill zone, a depth at which your character will die after presumably being crushed by the pressure. Conveniently, the death zone starts just above the hatch, so you need to be very careful here if you want to investigate this for yourself. Still, these setbacks don't stop us. We came here for a clue. Not long after you arrive, a light comes on from the other side of the window, which implies there is some kind of human life on the other side. But there's no way to actually interact with the hatch itself. Hang around the hatch for a decent amount of time. For me, it was like 90 seconds, and you'll eventually start hearing Morse code being tapped out from within. Here's the weird thing though, while you'd expect a message to cry out for help or maybe a greeting of some sort, it's actually a joke at the expense of a character in GTA 4. Deciphering the message says, "Hey, you never call. How'd you fancy going bowling?" A reference to the frequent requests made by Roman Bellic, the cousin of GTA 4's protagonist, Nico.
Cousin, it is your cousin. Let's go bowling.
It's likely this is an Easter egg to both GTA 4 and maybe the TV show Lost. Either way, its true purpose is still uncertain, so let's keep checking back. One update, something may happen. The Grand Theft Auto series is no stranger to speculation around the inclusion of various mythical or fictional creatures. Stories of monsters and beasts appearing in the world started all the way back in the PS2 era, and they're still going strong today. Let's start with the big one, no pun intended.
You kidding me?
The multiple rumoured appearances of good old Bigfoot across various Rockstar games have been subject to rampant speculation, but GTA 5 might just provide us with the clearest looks at the facts and fiction of this peculiar case. In the story mission Predator, the player is given a rifle with a thermal scope used to hunt down the O'Neill brothers through the woods. However, if you have a closer look around, you'll find this mysterious figure in your sights. While it obviously matches the profile of Bigfoot, you can't shoot at it. Fortunately, the mystery becomes a little easier to decipher in the mission The Last One. Franklin agrees to hunt down the Bigfoot, only to find that this particular incarnation of the beast is a crazy man in a costume.
What the f*** is wrong with you running around the woods in a costume?
Case closed, right? Well, no, not quite. In an update that didn't drop until 2 years after the game released, a playable version of Bigfoot was added to GTA 5. Accessing it involves eating a series of golden peyote plants, which suggests that this appearance is part of a hallucination, meaning it's hard to put the Bigfoot mystery to bed entirely. In fact, Rockstar toyed with the inclusion of a Bigfoot-like creature as recently as Red Dead Redemption 2, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one rumbled on for a little while longer. Certain online communities believe other mythical beasts appear in GTA 5, such as the Goat Man or the Rat Man, but despite extensive research, there has never been enough evidence to suggest any of their alleged appearances are real. One thing's for sure though, when it comes to bizarre mythical creatures, Rockstar aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. The large majority of GTA 5's secrets and Easter eggs have ties to real-world counterparts. The game is filled to the brim with references to various video games, TV shows, and movies, but every now and then you'll find an Easter egg with no clear link to any piece of media. In fact, some Easter eggs don't appear to have any link to, well, anything at all. One mystery that stemmed from exactly that issue is the face in the mountain. On the northern slope of Mount Chiliad, you can find a face that has been drawn into the side of the mountain. Whilst some people initially speculated that this was the face of Jesse Pinkman, a character from the TV show Breaking Bad, it's hard to confirm this theory with any real conviction. For a very long time, people tried to dig up who the face belonged to, with many beginning to believe it was simply a rogue developer who decided to sneak their face into the game. Then something strange happened. Rockstar re-released GTA 5 for PC and next-gen consoles, addressing this Easter egg in the process. But rather than get rid of the image altogether, they replaced it with this. We're gonna have to blur this image because YouTube won't like this. But behind this is a rooster that bears an uncanny resemblance to a man's bits and pieces. Is that family friendly enough, YouTube? If you want to see this for yourself, it's here on the map. Go crazy. You can be the cock of the walk. The strange thing is that this move only serves to heighten the mystery around the Easter egg. Why, in a game with hundreds of risque Easter eggs, did Rockstar decide to change this one? Who does that original face belong to, and why did Rockstar decide to remove them from the updated game? It's an Easter egg that may seem incidental at first, but certainly asks more questions the more you look into it. GTA 5 is filled with unusual throwaway secrets that rarely amount to much other than a quick joke or reference, but there is still some interactions within the game that so far have yet to be explained. Curiously, some of the sources for these mysteries are various phones hidden within GTA 5 that trigger strange results when you try to call them. Probably the most bizarre example of this are the black cell phones. Use the in-game phone to dial this number, 1-999-367-3767, and you'll be connected to a caller known as black cell phones. As you're waiting to be connected, an explosion will trigger right above your character's head. What's even stranger is that when your character gets their phone back out, the operating system that it uses, as well as the phone's color scheme, will both have changed. There are all kinds of theories linked to these mysterious phone numbers. Some people believe the numbers 367-3767 are code for EMP drop, a reference to an electromagnetic pulse that could trigger this strange event. Others believe the number is a leftover remnant of many explosions that are triggered using phones in the game's story mode, or even that it could be part of a mission which was cut from the story. Whether you think they are a throwaway secret or a reference to something deeper, it's still not clear what purpose these mysterious numbers have. Try it for yourself in game.
What the f?
Yeah, at some point we had to talk about aliens, didn't we? While Easter eggs like the black cell phones might hint at something unusual happening behind the scenes in GTA 5, there are some mysteries that are far more upfront in nature. Whether you made your way through the story only once or explored every last inch of Los Santos, there is one thing every GTA 5 player has long worried about: aliens. Much like with Bigfoot, Rockstar made clever use of aliens throughout Los Santos to create an air of uncertainty around their existence. For example, in the mission Did Somebody Say Yoga, Michael's son Jimmy drugs him by giving him a drink spiked with something questionable. Michael soon experiences a bizarre hallucination in which he is abducted by a UFO and examined by aliens. Just like the peyote trip that allows the players to control Bigfoot, it's easy to dismiss this appearance as a simple hallucination, and therefore believe aliens don't exist within the world of GTA 5. But as many of you know, the references and sightings go way deeper. During the prologue mission, an alien can be found through the ice in the frozen river. Not only that, but there are 4 separate appearances of UFOs throughout the game. While it's impossible to interact with them, they most definitely appear in the world and don't seem to be part of an hallucination. Unlike some other similar mysteries, it does appear that extraterrestrials in some shape or form exist within the lore of GTA 5. The part that makes it a mystery, however, is the uncertainty around the purpose they serve, as they are left unable to interact with them or even confirm that aliens exist within the UFOs themselves. It's another mystery that, for now, seems to be a dead end. That being said, they may well be connected to another of GTA 5's most famous mysteries. The Mount Chiliad mystery is one of the most curious, time-consuming mysteries to ever be featured in a video game. Ever since people first discovered it back in 2013, it has been the subject of endless rumours, speculation, and blind guesses as to what it means or the purpose it serves. Inside the cable car station at the top of Mount Chiliad, I'm sure you've seen it, there is a large map printed on the wall. It appears to be a map of Mount Chiliad, but it contains lots of unusual symbols, including UFOs, a jetpack, and what looks to be an egg that is hatching. Over the years, people have believed various theories about the map. Some people believe it relates to the presence of aliens in Los Santos, like we've just looked at, whereas others think this is tied to the Illuminati and the all-seeing eye. Whatever the reason behind it, nothing could deter hardcore fans from trying to get to the bottom of this mystery. Many believe the key to this secret is overlaying the map onto Los Santos itself and using it to triangulate the location of various in-game items and secrets. While this did produce some interesting results, including a discovery of a sunken UFO that was hidden underwater, it didn't provide any further clues. As most of us know, there are still no jetpacks in single-player versions of the game, and the only reference to an egg of any kind lies in the teachings of GTA 5's Epsilon cult. Rather anticlimactically, a jetpack was added later to GTA Online as a part of the Doomsday heist, which stripped the Mount Chiliad mystery of much of its urgency. While many people continue to find things in the open world, we are no closer to finding a breakthrough in GTA 5's largest, most fascinating mystery to date. We are missing something, but what could that be? Could you be the person to unravel this mystery and go down in folklore as a legend? Regardless of the community's progress, however, it's still really cool to see something so small generate so much intrigue and become such a lasting part of the game almost 7 years later. For now though, this is one mystery that remains unsolved. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, thank you for your time. If you got to the end of the video, can you tell me who would win in a fight between Trevor, Michael and Franklin? My money's on Trevor. Thanks for your time, I'll see you next time.